Achamillai, achamillai, achamenbadu illaye. So said Subramania Bharti. He was a freedom fighter. August 15th is Independence Day, and I wish to tell you the story of a freedom fighter. I will tell you about Subramania Bharti. Once upon a time, there lived a zamindar called Chinnaswamy Iyer. He had a son who was very fond of poetry. He used to recite the poems he learned from his uncle in the king's court. And the king praised Chinnaswamy Iyer. But Mr. Iyer was not pleased. So he sent his son away to study, thinking that would drain away his ambitions for being a poet. But he failed for the matriculation exam. So he had to come home. Here he began to listen to a lot of poetry, and the court's ministers began to tease him that he wasn't qualified for the exam. So the boy, angry, challenged them on a debate of education. The boy spoke so eloquently that his rivals were dumbfounded. Then a priest said, "You have crossed your limits. You are Bharati." From that day onwards, he was called Bharati. When he was 15, he married a girl called Chellamma. A year later, Mr. Iyer died. So then, Bharati went to his aunt's house and began to learn poetry. He also became the editor of 3 newspapers. Then he got his taste of politics. He began to tell crowd speeches. And so, in Madras, they began to burn the things that were bought from the foreign. One of his great words was also that there might be place for all of the castes, but the alien, the enemy, will have not 1 quarter. And so the British began to look for him and arrested him at Kadalur. Many people protested and he was free. But the newspapers he worked for were shut down. So he stayed at the Brahmin quarter and was expelled from there and lived in a small mansion. For the next 3 years, he began to make poems that got him recognition. So he shifted to another house, and then one day he went to give offerings to an elephant in the temple. But the elephant wasn't in a happy mood, and so picked up the poet with the trunk and flung him down. The poet fell down, but one of Bharati's friends managed to get him out, and he was taken to the hospital. Soon he recovered, but he had drained his body's energy. Soon he had an attack of dysentery and passed away. But his songs never died with him. They were sung throughout the freedom struggle and are thus doing so till today and will continue to do so. I hope you enjoyed the facts about Subramania Bharti. Thank you.